Detroit, Michigan is known as the Motor City. And since the second car rolled out of a production facility here, auto racing in the U.S. was born. And now, with the city skyline in the background, the picturesque Grand Prix circuit on Belle Isle is about to come alive like never before. Speed Energy Formula Off-Road comes to Detroit. It's Menards at Belle Isle, presented by Traxxas. Round 6, 7, and 8 this weekend, and the weather is absolutely perfect. You know, Formula Off-Road becoming a destination for new drivers. We've got a new track and a new driver on pole this weekend.
Guys, thanks. The 87 truck, 3dimensional.com, of Aaron Bombach will lead this field here at Belle Isle. And the question is, Aaron, you start up front, but what's it going to take to finish up front?
Well, with the inversion of the field, I think really just survive the first 5 laps. We get that competition caution, and then it's race on.
We saw at Indy that even though there are times where you might not think there's a passing zone, all of a sudden you look and there comes one of those trucks on your left or trucks on your right. Are there areas here where there are opportunities to pass?
Yeah, the track's really wide, really fast, good braking zones. There'll be some good opportunities to get by.
All right, we wish you the best of luck, and maybe we'll talk to you afterwards.
Thank you.
Aaron Bombach will lead this field at Belle Isle.
Good opportunities to pass means there's going to be some great racing. Brian Till and Robbie Buell with you. Robbie, you've raced here before. Take us around Belle Isle.
Fantastic track. As they go to turn 3 right there, that is a good passing zone. Turn 4, 5, 6, leading onto the back straightaway there. We have a jump between 4 and 5, another good passing zone. As we kind of get into the section of Fountain Corners, another jump that they hit there. As we head down to turns 12 and 13, it's 2.3 miles around here, 3 gears in these cars all the way around, jump along the front straightaway.
Some of these straightaways are long, and that means the speeds are going to be high. Here's a look at the starting grid. Now, they inverted the top 3 rows from the practice times. You'll notice back in 5th, Robbie Gordon, that orange number plate signifies that he is indeed the points leader. Aaron Bombach, in his very first ever Formula Off-Road event, will start on pole.
And EJ Viso, he was the quickest qualifier, but he's back in 6th. You say, oh, that stinks having to be back there. But he can gain 1 championship point for every pass that he has. So that's a little incentive there for that inversion.
Looking at some of the Toyo onboards, you saw Keegan Gakay, there's Abdali Lopez, and there is Robbie Gordon, brainchild of this series. Ari Lyondike Jr. is going to be rolling off in 3rd, so he's going to have a good shot at a good position heading into the heavy braking of turn 3. Enrique Cisneros, new to the series too, a very good sports car driver, and then Aaron Bombach on the pole. And Aaron's driven just about everything, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and he is a local Detroit boy.
He's a local Detroiter, but most of his background comes from Formula Car and road racing, taking these trucks and launching them into the air. And remember, you got the big travel. There's the start.
Standing start, and look at that EJ Viso around the outside in the second of the 2 Momo Traxxas trucks. What a great job. Bombach, though, leads through turn 2 from the standing start. Now it's going to be a long run down to turn 3, heavy braking at the end of this straight.
And hitting close to 130-plus miles an hour as they get down here. So just riding on board, taking a look down the inside there with Ari Lyondike.
3 wide into the corner, heavy braking for the first time. These Toyo tires on these trucks, they are DOT-approved tires, and they are going to be punished here today. Bombach leads out of turn 3, but look at Cisneros and Viso, teammates side by side in those Momo trucks.
And Bombach, what a good job. Again, this is his first time ever in one of these trucks, so that's big pressure starting from the pole, and he's gotten through the first couple corners cleanly.
The biggest challenge for Aaron is going to be how much air do I get and how much do I slide this truck. Guys who are used to them know that you need a little bit of slip angle, and you can jump them pretty aggressively. Bombach down the back straightaway. You ride on board with Burt Jenner. Out in front, Aaron Bombach, and being pressured heavily by Enrique Cisneros, but at the start, it was EJ Viso with a great jump.
He timed that just perfectly. Look at that. I mean, he absolutely just jumped the road from him, running on the outside. Now coming to turn 2. Look at this little rise as we ride on board. You get a little bit of rise right through there. You get an absolute huge sensation of the speed in these trucks as you come through that zone.
Viso 6th to 3rd at the wave of the green flag. Bambach leads out of the fountain turn, but Cisneros all over the back of him. Cisneros with a little slide off the corner. Bambach very tighty, maybe too tighty. Cisneros gets the lead.
Well, for Bambach, okay, let him go. Just see where his strengths and weaknesses are. Keep learning about these trucks. See how they race. This is his first time here. You just got to see how it plays out. And remember, braking is a big part of these trucks. A lot of brake buys to the front of them. So you got to be careful that you don't want to overcook that front brake pedal and get too much temperature up front.
Chicane onto the front straightaway. Cisneros with a great move over Aaron Bambach. This is how it all went down. You see, on board with Cisneros, he's got that little slide. You see the correction in the steering on the way off, but still gets good drive.
And a great setup, great passing place into turn 12 there.
Looking a little further back in the field, it was Burt Jenner getting a little crossed up over the jump, and now the battle for 4th. You ride on board.
Look at that three-wheeling of Belle Lopez. And again, that's that little rise that you have in turn 2. They're going through there with big speed.
On board with Arie Luyendyk Jr. and Lopez to the inside, all out of shape in the braking zone.
But he's got
Luyendyk, yeah, well, he had it for a moment. Luyendyk's going to say thank you very much, and now contact pushes Abdali Lopez to the outside. Now Burt Jenner is going to have a run.
And a good look down there side by side as them through that jump in turn 5. Abdali got a little bit crossed up over there, but still in control.
Is the battle for 5th between Lopez and his red, white, and green Traxxas entry, and then Burt Jenner. And now Lopez with a slide job, and Jenner off, pushed off at the end, or at the beginning, I should say, of the straightaway. That's turn 5. On board with Jenner. And looks to the inside, just didn't have it.
Yeah, but Lopez also kind of shut the door on him, too. It's not that he didn't have it. Lopez shrunk the window just a little bit.
Two different drivers here having a conversation. Yeah, maybe he closed the door a little bit. Jenner just couldn't get alongside of him. Any way you look at it, Jenner got the worst of that as he was parked there in turn 5. Lopez gets away, now under heavy pressure from Robbie Gordon, and you can see how differently the two trucks are set up. Lopez in that red, white, and green truck
is always picking up that right front. Robbie's truck's a little bit more stable. And remember, there's a trade-off here. You know, if you lock the suspension down more, you're probably going to be better under braking and rolling the corners. But you got to remember, you got 4 jumps around here, so you don't want to be so locked down that it cranks and just launches you, you know, in a bad way as you come off the jumps.
Yeah, it just seems that under heavy braking, Lopez is at a bit of a disadvantage. The truck moving around a lot. He can't afford that because Robbie Gordon is all over his bumper right now. Enrique Cisneros leads overall, and then Aaron Bambach with a fine run. 2 rookies to the series, running 1-2 from Belle Isle. It's Menards at Belle Isle by Traxxas. We'll be back.
Honey, I think it's time you fix the gutters.
Where am I going to get the supplies to...
I got a solution for all your gutters. Get in.
Are you sure you can handle that much horsepower?
Of course I can. No! Oh, thank goodness we're here. Paul, do you think they're going to have the gutters I'm looking for?
You mean like these gutters? With over 58,000 items in stock, Menards has just what you need.
Menards has everything you need to help you get your project done. How about some donuts?
I love donuts.
York. Visit TripAdvisor New York. With millions of reviews, TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Speed Energy Formula Off-Road is brought to you by Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control. by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. And by Menards, save big money at Menards. The beautiful Detroit River. Some of the boaters having a great day here. The weather absolutely perfect. Enrique Cisneros leads, but his teammate E.J. Viso now trying to take over second from Aaron Baumbach down in heavy braking turn 3.
And side by side as they head through there, using the curb, using every little bit they can. Now, it was made very clear to these guys in the drivers' meeting, and definitely was looked at with EJ, said, do not get up on the grass anywhere around here. Don't hit any of the tires we have in the chicane, and don't get up on the grass. And that was communicated through the promoter, Bud Danker, to these guys, and it's like, okay, we get that.
And so far, everybody behaving very well. There's Robbie Gordon as he flashes through in his number 7. Viso takes over second spot. Baumbach slipping back, and the next truck that's going to put pressure on Aaron Baumbach is Ari Lyondike Jr. On board with Keegan Kincaid. This is the battle for 6. Kincaid in 7th right now, trying to get past Lopez. You don't want to do it on the outside here.
No, but you heard him where he had a good run up on him. He actually dumped the throttle. He got up on him and didn't quite time it. And you'd see he's looking back and forth. The outside probably isn't the way around, and he's still stuck behind Lopez, looking for a way by.
Keegan Kincaid playing Super Sub this weekend. He's in that Traxxas vehicle for Sheldon Creed. He'll be collecting points for Creed this weekend, who had other obligations. There's Cisneros. Enrique Cisneros leads, followed by his Traxxas, or his Momo teammate, I should say, E.J. Viso. And looking back onto Robbie Gordon.
And it's really amazing when you just look at all the different driving styles of these guys. Some guys throw the trucks around more as they enter into the corners. Some guys are a lot smoother. I mean, all different kinds of approach, from the road racing guys that have that background to the street racing guys. And you see little subtleties in terms of all their techniques.
Well, and it's really the experience. Even Ari Lyondike Jr., you can see he's learned to throw that truck a little bit at corner entry, rotate it a little bit, get the power down, and a little bit of slide, a little bit of slip angle with these DOT-approved Toyo tires is not really a problem. In
Sideways.
Fact, but not like that, you don't. Enrique Cisneros, the leader, into the wall.
Big time. And he just got off the first jump a little sideways and hit it a little sideways and jumped 2.
Seems like the suspension rebounds. You're right on board. Take a look here.
Now he's just a little off there. See how he's just a little bit off there going to the left, and it just loaded up and shot him. Once he landed, just shot him to that inside wall.
On board again. The landing pretty smooth. So is this one until, boom. Contact with the wall is not, and I was just talking about the experience. Here's the wall cam.
And you saw him sideways through the air there. And again, it's just so subtle. Well, that actually, when you slow it down there, it doesn't look so subtle. He's definitely crossed up when he's landed.
Well, we talked about the experience, or the lack of experience, I should say, for Enrique Cisneros and Aaron Baumbach. Those guys have to learn how to deal with these trucks. You've got to get them gathered up, especially when you have 2 jumps together.
And again, for these guys that are new to these stadium super trucks, is the drivers can control a lot what they do as they approach the jump in terms of when they're on the power, how they're on the power, in terms of how you launch and how you're in the air. And you can adjust the car a little bit in there, not like a motorcycle, but the guys do have some control as they hit the jumps. And
Abdali Lopez now with a problem at the end of the back straightaway. Looks like perhaps some type of mechanical issue. He just drove straight off, but Ari Lyondike, Robbie Gordon, they've gotten past Aaron Baumbach too. This is the battle for second. Lyondike has it. Gordon wants it.
And we talked about driving styles. Talking with Ari, he said, hey, what's key to him, he said, I want to survive up to the midpoint of the caution yellow, but coming back to the brake pedal, he said, you have so much weight and transfer of weight with all the travel, 18 inches of travel in the front, 26 in the rear. He said, you can really burn up your front brakes on these cars. So that's something that he's still learning with the balance in these trucks.
Lyondike seems to be real aggressive with his hands at turn in. You see the car, or the truck, I should say, turn very sharply. So kind of quick with the hands. Do you want that in a softer vehicle like this that takes a while to move the weight side to side?
Well, and you talk about quick hands, with the way these guys throw these trucks around, and just something that has got to be awesome when you drive. You got power steering, but it's one-to-one wrap, and it's like 45 degrees of angle they can catch these trucks with.
Riding on board right now with Keegan Kincaid. When you say 1-to-1, what do you mean?
Well, just in terms of the ratio of the wreck, it responds that it's not a 2-to-1, 3-to-1. So when you put in that counter steer, you can catch it in a 1-to-1 way.
at 45 degrees of steering is almost the full.
Is a full catch instantly, almost as quick as you can get your hands into it.
So very quick steering on the Stadium Super Trucks. Talk about very quick. EJ Viso very quick. Enrique Cisneros, his teammate, had the lead, but with that crash going over the jump onto the front straightaway, Cisneros is back in the paddock, and he has left the battle to his teammate to bring home the victory, and he's out in front right now. But Ari Leindyke Jr. under heavy pressure from Robbie Gordon.
And you got to be thinking back to the race prior to this, Indianapolis. Ari was leading at the end. That guy right there, Robbie Gordon, was behind him and gave him a little bump out of the way. And talking with Ari, he's like, you know what, I'm going to file that away. So he's definitely got that filed away of what happened there, and he doesn't want that to happen again.
It's Formula Off-Road, and a little rubbing is not a bad thing. Leindyke with a big slide off the corner. And you talked about a competition yellow. If there's not a full course caution because of something on the racetrack, at about the halfway point, they will go competition caution, give everybody a chance to settle down, give the DOT-approved Toyo tires a chance to cool off, the brakes a chance to cool off, and then they'll go racing again. So right now, been no problems on the racetrack to bring out a full course caution.
And so that's something you have to factor into your strategy. You're saying, okay, we're going to race up to that point. We're going to learn about our competition. I'm going to learn where the strengths and weaknesses are in my truck and where my competitions are. So as I get to that point, I know where to take advantage of it when we race hard the next 5 laps.
Viso looking so smooth. Leindyke with a little wiggle under heavy braking into the chicane on the front straightaway. And at the line, there's the caution. There's the competition yellow. We hadn't had an incident on the racetrack, so the competition caution flies from Belle Isle. It's Formula Off-Road presented by Traxxas. Here's a look at your leaderboard.
Every all-terrain tire claims to be tough. But when you have over 40% more tread life than the leading competitors, not to mention the longest warranty of any AT tire, the word tough just isn't tough enough.
Going on now at Joseph A. Bank. Buy one, get 2 free. A huge selection of casual office wear and sportswear. That's dress shirts, sports shirts, polo shorts, and casual pants. Buy one, get any 2 free. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
It's an all-new special Sunday America's Got Talent that's simply astonishing. You're nuts! Plus, 2 death-defying stunts will attempt to set 2 world records. A special show-stopping Sunday starts 9/8 Central on NBC.
All across America, people are making the move to improve their TV and internet service by dropping Fios and coming back to Xfinity.
With Fios, I thought I was going to get a better package for less money, and I didn't. I was like, I can't wait to get out of this contract.
The reliability of Xfinity is important to us because we have limited time as a family.
Xfinity On Demand is great for the kids. They can just zip through anything they want.
It's everything we expected and more. I'm Donna.
I'm Eddie, and we're back with Xfinity.
Xfinity, the future of awesome.
My new car.
Every month, tens of thousands switch to Chevrolet.
Loving it. Our new ride.
For some very good reasons. Like being able to choose from 13 different models that offer an EPA-estimated 30 mpg highway or better. But if those reasons aren't enough, here are 500 more.
This is my new baby.
Competitive owners and lessees, make your move. Use your $500 bonus to get this 2014 Chevy Cruze LT for around $149 per month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Every time I start it up, it's like a...
Oh, it's just your starter. No biggie. It kind of sounds like this.
Radiator leak. Every time I let off the gas, it makes this kind of a... like that. Just like that.
Just your idle. It's a bit rough.
From transmissions to tune-ups and everything in between. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. AA MCO.
Leading the field back to green. The competition caution came out, but now the green flag waves, and Viso has been so strong in these trucks ever since his debut. at Long Beach, but he is under heavy pressure now. Lyondike in the white truck looks to the inside, and Robbie Gordon, what a move around the high side of Lyondike.
Absolutely has the roll speed on the outside there and goes right by Lyondike. Lyondike says, I'm not done with you, but he's on the outside as they approach turn 3, so that's a tough place to get the repass done.
Gordon really leaning on that right rear, picking the left front up as they came through turn 2, and as you said, has the preferred line down into turn 3. He'll take over the point. He holds it down, and now Aaron Bombach, your pole sitter in the first of the black trucks right behind, really coming under heavy pressure by Keegan Kincaid.
And I love the competition, Yellow. I mean, yeah, it's part of the strategy for these guys, but for fans to just kind of bring everything back together and say, okay, it's second half.
Start them all over again. That's exactly what they've done. Now, Gordon's gotten past Lyondike. Does he have anything for E.J. Viso? Viso running a little bit stiffer setup on his truck, a little flatter across the front. Gordon seems to be somewhere in the middle.
And if you talk to Robbie about EJ, he said from the first time that EJ got in these trucks, he absolutely had a knack for them, was quick. And, you know, we know EJ has the street experience. He's raced here in Detroit before in Indy cars. He's raced Indy cars last year. So he has the speed and the talent, and he's adapted incredibly well to these trucks.
Nice and smooth over the jump at the fountain turn. Gordon beginning to close in. We also saw Keegan Kincaid get past Aaron Bombach. There's Scotty Steele.
Little sideways there off that jump, but it is amazing just what these trucks can take, whether you're sideways, landing on one wheel, two wheels, all wheels off the jumps, and just how they do settle and they keep running. And
it does look like you've got to have a little bit of slip angle. You need a little bit of slide coming off the corner, even though might feel like, hey, it's inhibiting my progress forward. That tire wants that little slip angle.
And it does, and how the drivers can control the slide and induce it. You got big torque with these cars, 600 horsepower, so they can do it with a throttle and also just with a handbrake if they got to just get that rear out to help point the car. So they have the tools inside the cockpits to get that little bit of angle.
You can also see through the chicane how the trucks really work side to side, and the difference in setup looks like Lyondike running third, a little bit softer setup than Robbie Gordon's truck, rolling just a bit more through that quick left-right chicane.
And again, that sensation over that little rise, there's a little river there that goes through Belle Isle, so that's what that rise is, but the sensation of speed and the trucks three-wheeling over there, talking with Aaron Bombach, who's new to this, he said the hardest thing for him is once you pick up that inside wheel is to stay committed to the throttle. That tendency says, oh, I got to lift off the gas and bring the front down. No, you got to learn to trust the truck and keep powering through it. So, again, that's part of the learning curve to this form of racing if you haven't done it.
It's like you said, coming from Formula Car background, any type of massive roll that you feel is not a good thing. And speaking of roll, look back in the back. Keegan Kincaid, he is upside down, the turtle.
And that's turn 5. They've just come off the one jump between 4 and 5. There it is. So he got in there with big speed to turn 5. Looked like he was sliding, and then the rear of the car got into the tire wall and then tripped it.
On board, up and over the jump, coming into the corner now through the left-hander. You look up in front, there's Kincaid on the outside.
That's it.
Gets into that rubber covering along the tire wall. This is on board with Keegan Kincaid. It looks like those Toyo tires grab that cover and just run right up it.
Well, the rear was sliding out, so the right rear hit, and then it tossed the front back into the tire wall, and then that's what triggered chips, and you see him crawling out.
These trucks built so tough. Keegan Kincaid, great to see him out of the truck, and the red flag has come out. The great thing, too, was where he was running in the field, and now you see the checkered flag comes out because we were pretty far along into the event. So E.J. Viso will win round number 1, Menards at Belle Isle by Traxxas.
The fastest name in radio control.
Don't miss Red Lobster's new Lobster Toppers event. 4 entrees starting at just $15.99, like our new Lobster Top Wood Grilled Shrimp or the new Lobster Top Lobster. And now, for lunch, try our new lobster tacos, just $9.99. And soon, so hurry in.
My axe throwers would demolish your city walls.
My archers will send you scurrying for cover.
Grab your phone or tablet and play against millions online for free as you build an epic kingdom with enough power to conquer Middle-earth.
So, it's on.
Oh, it's so on!
The Hobbit, Kingdoms of Middle-earth. Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
Search Hobbit on the App Store and Google Play now.
It's 21 days to Paris. 21 days of splendor and solitude, of harmony and history. It's 21 days to Paris. 21 days of splendor and solitude, of harmony and history. It's 21 days to victory. The Tour de France. Coverage begins Saturday, July 5th on NBCSN.
You're watching the NBC Sports Network, NBCSN.
With the red flag because of Keegan Kincaid's flip, the checker then followed it. And round number 1 from here at Belle Isle is over. It's round number 6 on the season, and there's Keegan Kincaid. He's going to get a ride back with EJ Viso. You know, the great thing about running around in a truck and racing in a truck, you can bring your friends with you.
Perfect.
Viso gives Keegan Kincaid a ride around, and then the crew going to work righting that truck, getting it back on all 4 wheels, and they are tough. He'll be back to race, and there's a look at the results. EJ Viso with the victory after such a good run in Long Beach. He missed out there, but he'll take the checker flag here, and he'll take the victory. Robbie Gordon, a close second. Let's hear from our winner. He's with our own Jake Query down in Victory Lane. Jake?
A little bit hairy throughout the course of that race, so a lot of fun to watch. Your take on the run?
No, it was fun. I knew these fast guys were coming behind me, Robbie and Ari, so there was a point where I said, well, at what time I'm going to start pushing? I didn't want to push too early. I think the tires overheat a little bit, and you want to keep them in the sweet spot, and obviously the race was shortened up, but I was ready to start attacking those 2-3 last laps. But anyways, we had an amazing race. I really enjoy driving these trucks. It's truly fun. It's an amazing venue for the fans, for the drivers. It's something pretty unique. It's a nice combination. You get to drive the whole track pretty much sideways and half of it on the air. So
now the fun part, you get to do it 2 more times.
Exactly. One Saturday and one Sunday. So looking forward.
EJ Viso talking about using that competition caution, just like you talked about, Robbie Buell, for strategy. Here's a look at the points right now. Robbie Gordon still leads, but Abdali Lopez and Sheldon Creed now tied for second. And Sheldon Creed getting points today because of Keegan Kincaid, but Kincaid, pretty hairy moment there at the end.
Turn 5 came in normal, just launched off the jump a little sideways, and once these trucks go sideways, you can't stop from going. I thought I'd be all right when I hit the wall. Tires kind of sucked me up into the wall and just hit me on my side. Nothing big, roll back over and we'll keep going. But, it was a race. I hope we put on a good show for these fans, and I can't thank Traxxas for putting me here.
Now, they definitely put on a good show. Race number 2 was a good show as well. The red number 5, Scotty Steele, starts from the pole, but it doesn't take long before the pressure sets in.
And on board with Burt Jenner looking down the inside of Steele as they head into turn 3. Big braking zone, good passing. There we're looking over at Burt Jenner from Steele's car, and Jenner gets in a little bit deep and hands the lead back to Scotty Steele.
Robbie Gordon and Ari Leyendijk had a good run in race number 1 here at Belle Isle. They had a good run here as well. Gordon gets past and then really puts the pressure on Keegan Kincaid. Starting to squeeze him, press him a little bit over the jump around the fountain turn.
And on board here with EJ Viso for a look at the lead. He's run up on Scotty Steele. There he goes. We're coming down into big braking area as we get down to turn 7, and he's got the lead.
EJ Viso with the lead. Burt Jenner, remember how aggressive he was there at the opening. Well, he was aggressive throughout the race. A little problem down in turn 7. Looks to the inside of Lyondike, but one more time overshoots the corner. He's got to learn about the braking on these trucks. Right up front, though, E.J. Viso never looked back. Took the lessons he learned in race number 1 here at Belle Isle, applied them in race number 2, and he's 2 for 2. Well, he didn't learn this lesson, though.
Yeah, how do you think that makes you feel? You just won the second race here on Saturday, and you put it on your hood. The champagne and victory circle will have to be waiting on E.J. upside down.
Yeah, donuts in an Indy car, a little bit different than donuts in one of these trucks. Here's a look at round 7 official results. E.J. Viso, 2 for 2 in the Motor City. Scotty Steele with a much better run. And Aaron Baumbach, Detroit boy, on the podium, rounding out the top 3. Points leader Robbie Gordon in there as well. We've got another race coming at you from Belle Isle.
Don't just visit Rome. Visit TripAdvisor Rome. With millions of reviews, TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
To clear acne, they say you gotta follow the rules. Doctors, pills, routines. Yeah, right. Break the rules and clear your skin with one simple step. From the makers of Proactive comes X-Out.
X-Out is just one step. It just works.
X-Out is the first ever wash-in treatment. Just wash and rinse. Advanced medicine stays behind to fight acne all day. And you feel it working with a rush of icy cool.
X-Out is cool because it gets the job done real fast.
You can't get it in stores, so go to xout.com now for your free gift and free shipping.
Using your security system when it's disarmed used to be impossible. But now with Alarm.com, it's simple. Say this is your house. This is you on vacation. Using real-time alerts, you know when your teenager opens the door. Opens the door. Opens the door. Opens the door. Even when your security system is disarmed. Make sure your home is powered by Alarm.com and stay connected with real-time alerts. Alarm.com, your home in your hands.
What's a born maker made from? From small steps, giant leaps, big ideas, and sharp minds. All the things that make a born maker. Made this, a car with swagger, intelligence, soul. A car that proves a well-made sedan doesn't have to cross an ocean to be worthy of the American road. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Things have changed.
Menards at Belle Isle by Traxxas continues from Detroit. Race number 3 coming up. Burt Jenner will have a good view of the drop of the green.
Round 3 of the Menards at Belle Isle will be headed by this man in the front of the field, Burt Jenner. And I've got to ask, now you obviously the first time in the trucks this weekend, what's it going to take to get your Gladiator Tires truck to stay up front?
Cool the nerves. We've been trying to get this truck figured out here. Little problems here, little problems there, but I think we've got it all figured out. And just got to keep the nerves cool and try and act like a pro.
Obviously, you've got experience in trucks. You won the Ford Octane Series. What about these Traxxas trucks? Because you go off-roading in them and looks like fun, but is it fun? I'm assuming it is.
There's nothing about these trucks that isn't fun. I had a rough race yesterday and had the time of my life. I got out of the truck going, I don't know how I had so much fun losing, but I did. So, yeah, there's not a dull moment in these trucks.
All right, the Speed Energy Formula Off-Road. We'll see if this Gladiator Tires truck can get up front, and maybe we'll be talking to you afterwards, right?
You will.
All right, have fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, Burt struggled with some of the braking in race number 2 here at Belle Isle, but he'll get that sorted out, and like you said, it's all about fun. E.J. Viso's had fun. Been perfect here, 2 for 2. On board with Robbie Gordon with your Toyo Tires onboard cameras. There's Ari Lyondike Jr. These guys starting a little bit further back, but we've already seen Robbie Buell that you can win one of these races from being 5th, 6th, 7th on the grid.
And EJ, we saw he's starting back there in 8th. It's a full inversion of the field, but again, he can gain championship points with every pass that you make. And the strategy plays out here. You want to sort out your competition till you get to that midpoint yellow that brings everybody back together.
See Robbie Gordon on the grid with that yellow highlight. He got penalized 3 spots for being 4 wheels in the grass in race number 2 here at Belle Isle. So, no.
It was made very clear to these guys by the folks from the Detroit Grand Prix and Bud Dank say, stay off my grass and don't hit any of my cones out there.
Yeah, and you find out what happens when you don't listen to the promoter. You get 3-spot grid penalty. So Robbie Gordon back a little bit, waiting for that green flag to fly that you see on the left, and there it is. We're racing at Belle Isle. Round 8 of the series, race number 3 for the weekend. Abdali Lopez in that very familiar red, white, and green truck up front. All of these vehicles looking like their Traxxas RC counterparts, riding on board with Scotty Steele.
And these guys, they want to put on a good show for the fans. And also the promoters, they want a good show for their fans. And we heard from Burt Jenner. He said, I love this. The fans love it. It's great racing. It's something new. Your mind, when you come here and you think you're going to see sports cars and Indy cars, then you see these trucks flying through the air. You're like, what is this? This is awesome.
Right now, Abdali Lopez and then Jenner looking much more stable under braking than he did in race number 2. He's second over the jump. But then a little out of shape over the jump and into the wall. Driver's right. Right behind him, Keegan Kincaid and Scotty Steele.
But no real damage. I mean, look he hasn't lost any ground to Lopez. Just kind of brushed the wall. When he landed off that jump, just kind of shot him off in the wall. Here we're riding on board with Burt.
Yeah, and you can see just instinctively he turns his hands up in the air. Obviously, that's not going to do any good, but he's getting ready for the landing to try to get that truck to turn. Makes contact, but these trucks are tough. We said they're like their Traxxas RC
Scotty
counterparts.
Steele, and
Scotty Steele, yep. And pushes Keegan Kincaid to the outside in turn 7. That was a pass for third. Now Steele wide.
And that was Ari Leyendyk in the Quicken Loans car looking down the inside as they're going through the complex here by the water fountain.
Robbie Gordon bringing up the end of the field. Keegan Kincaid gets third place back in his Traxxas-sponsored truck. Scotty Steele not letting him get away, though.
Is he going to take a look as they head down to good braking zone here into turn 12? He's thinking about it, but no.
Steele a little loose under braking. That corner opened up a little bit for race number 3, turns 12 and 13.
And here we're coming up to the hairpin where the tires are put out. Some guys are probably down to first gear, depending where they get stacked up. Remember, we got 3 gears on these trucks, and once you get down that first gear, there's a lot of torque and a lot of power, so they'll use that potentially in that section right there.
Abdali Lopez up front, riding in that truck, that soft suspension that he loves so much, picks up that inside front tire, and Leyendyk in the white Quicken Loans truck, a little loose, a little out of shape over the jump. Remember, we saw Enrique Cisneros in race number 1 here, a little sideways over the jump and made contact with the wall, driver's right. That put him out.
No, and that double jump scenario along the front straightaway, you better make sure you hit the first jump right and land fairly solid and fairly stable in terms of setting yourself up for jump 2. If you're sideways or crooked any way in terms of the way you launch off of the second jump, you're going to get crossed up.
Keegan Kincaid trying to keep Scotty Steele in the red Steele racing truck behind him. Remember, Keegan Kincaid was getting points this weekend for Sheldon Creed.
And remember how he finished race 2. He finished race 2 upside your hood. So obviously, mentally, that doesn't hurt the driver, doesn't hurt these trucks. These trucks just perform like their Traxxas RC counterpoints, and you can do whatever you want.
Viso absolutely perfect this weekend. He's won both rounds so far. This is for 5th. Leyendyk to the outside. Viso, calm hands as they head down to the braking zone for turn 7. Steele a little
Big
out of
lockup.
shape.
And there we see Viso gets the pass done very cleanly on Ari. Looking back off of EJ's car at Ari. Again, we're through the complex of fountain corners here. This is all in second gear as they head through here.
It's like Leyendyk's perhaps gone to a little softer setup today, really picking up that inside front wheel as he came through the corner. Viso looks so smooth.
And also when you say, okay, we're seeing maybe some more trucks that are picking up that inside wheel. Remember, this is the 3rd race. There's more rubber down on the track. So the slip angle and the sliding that they've been getting from these Toyo tires, there may be a little bit more grip in getting that bite that is giving that lift as they roll through the corners.
Robbie Gordon putting pressure on Aaron Baumbach. Baumbach, new to the series, Detroit boy, and he's done a great job this weekend, but he's got his mirrors full of Robbie Gordon back in the back.
He does, but what a, for Baumbach and what Robbie's tried to create with this series is this is his first time in the trucks, and these trucks are all equally prepared trucks. You come, they'll provide a mechanic, they'll have it here, you bring your sponsors, you come racing, and if you got the stuff, you can run up front. And we know Baumbach finished on the podium in race 2 here.
And it's a destination series. He wants it to be a place where guys can come and say, that's where I want to race, not a place to just stop by. As you see Lopez still leading. Right behind him, Burt Jenner, then Keegan Kincaid, and look at E.J. Viso marching to the front, getting past Scotty Steele. Steele all out of shape.
And it definitely looks like maybe Steele's been fighting his brake pedal a little bit because we've seen a lot of lockup from him as he's come into braking zone, and he's just kind of catching it every time. So he's probably fighting just a little bit balanced. Look at that shot. That great shot back out of Viso looking at Steele as they come off the jumps.
Up on the sidewalk. Now, remember, Robbie Gordon was penalized for being 4 wheels in the grass. So these guys, that's the great thing about these trucks. You can use a lot of the road, but stay out of the grass, and they were pretty close to it.
Well, and where do you draw the line is, that's not getting up on the grass. That's pavement inside that curbing, but you're definitely altering the line. You're shortening the way around here, so, there may be up for a little speculation on how much you take advantage of that.
Abdali Lopez looking for another Formula Off-Road victory from here in Detroit. Won at Indianapolis and now looking to win here in Detroit. Leads the field around the fountain turn. Keegan Kincaid holding on to third. Burt Jenner, a much more calm Burt Jenner this weekend, or this race, I should say, than we saw in race number 2. The car looks very stable.
And for Lopez, he did win at Indy, so, once you've won that first race, it just comes that much easier to lead and say, okay, I can win, I've done it, I'm going to do it again.
Lopez holding down the point. Jenner, then Keegan Kincaid, but in fourth, it is two-time race winner here at Detroit, E.J. Viso, stalking towards the front. We'll be back to more Menards at Belle Isle by Traxxas.
Ready. Drive.
And 90 degrees up on 2 wheels.
Fly. Dominate. Celebrate. MagnaFlow.
Honey, I think it's time you fix the gutters.
Where am I going to get the supplies to?
I got a solution for all your gutters. Get in.
Are you sure you can handle that much horsepower?
Of course I can. No! Oh, thank goodness we're here. Paul, do you think they're going to have the gutters I'm looking for?
You mean like these gutters? With over 58,000 items in stock, Menards has just what you need.
Menards has everything you need to help you get your project done. How about some donuts?
I love donuts.
You're watching the NBC Sports Network, NBCSN.
This is important news for men who have taken Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra and then suffered from the skin cancer melanoma. According to a new study, the use of Viagra and other ED drugs may increase the risk of men developing a serious form of skin cancer known as melanoma. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Did you know that a Nobel Prize was awarded for a medical discovery that improves your sexual performance? It's true. Nitric oxide was discovered to improve your sexual performance. It also miraculously improves your heart health, blood pressure, energy levels, your immune system, diabetes, arthritis pain, even your memory and mood. That's why millions of men and women have begun taking nitric oxide boosters as daily supplements. And right now, we're releasing free bottles of Peak Nitric Oxide so you can discover the benefits for yourself. Be one of the first 100 callers. After more than 100,000 clinical studies, nitric oxide has been described as the miracle molecule of the 21st century. Taken once a day, you'll not only begin feeling years younger, but we'll also send you free test strips to prove it works. Discover how to get your free bottle of peak nitric oxide and free test strips at 1-800-514-5951. Be one of the first 100 callers. 1-800-514-5951.
Competition caution is out for Formula Off-Road. Menards at Belle Isle by Traxxas, and Burt Jenner up in front. But that's not the way it was when we went to break, and this is why Abdali Lopez had the lead. Jenner in the first of the black trucks behind him, and Lopez with the big bicycle.
Huge bicycle off there.
And Jenner takes advantage of it. We talked about how soft Lopez likes to run the truck, and then Keegan Kincaid right behind. He got past Lopez as well, and the green flag flies again at Belle Isle. Burt Jenner saying he needed to be smooth, he needed to be calm. He was not in race number 2. In race number 3, he has looked very good, very smooth, Robbie.
And the guys I'd want to keep an eye on right now is the 4th, 5th, and 6th place car of E.J. Viso, Ari Leyendyk, and Robbie Gordon. Obviously, from an experience standpoint, when it comes to road racing, those guys probably have the most right there.
Burt Jenner up front, the first of the 2 Traxxas trucks coming at you, and Jenner smooth in the braking zone, not giving into the pressure of Keegan Kincaid right behind him. Leyendyk holding the point. Man, Robbie Gordon,
big cross-up,
big slide off the corner. And look at Abdali Lopez in the red, white, and green Visit Mexico truck. He's moving forward, trying to put the pressure on Kincaid.
Well, you know, he had a taste of what's... Look at EJ up across the curb.
The second time he's been up there.
Again, they're not pulling up grass. If there was grass in there, there'd be no question about what they'd be doing with them. They'd be saying, you're red flagged and you're done.
Give a race car driver a little bit of room, and he'll take even more. That's what E.J. Viso's trying to do. He's actually trying to take the position from Abdali Lopez right in front on his bumper, heading down the braking zone of 7. Contact, and...
Using a little extra room. That's the short way, the shortcut.
There was no grass there, but that was definitely inside the curbing. So it'll be interesting to see what officials say about that.
Well, that's what we kind of said earlier. Where's the gray area with it? How much can you push it?
Well, there's certainly gray because he was on the asphalt behind the apex curbing. Look at Abdali Lopez, Ari Leyendyk right behind, and that was from on board EJV. So he gives the positions back. I think perhaps he did get a call on the radio saying you can't use the inside of these apex curbs, EJ. Just got it confirmed. In fact, the officials did say you got to give those positions back.
But from a driver's standpoint, okay, I made a mistake. At least he's correcting it now. Get back, give the spot back, and now he can attack again. It's not a penalty at the end of the event where, you know, he can't make it up. He now can correct it.
I like that. I like that call because you could say you've been a naughty boy. You got to fix it now. It's better than a stop and go. It's better than the time penalty, like you said.
And like any driver's like, what do you mean I cut through there? Well, you can kind of see him.
All right, I'll let him back by, but I don't really think I did it. Here you go. Right now, it's Keegan Kincaid trying to get the best of Burt Jenner now. They've had a good battle in the braking zone down here before, and it looks like Kincaid on the inside this time may have it.
Good braking, no lockup at all. He's got the pass done. He's getting in a little deep. Jenner says, I'm going to come back at you.
Oh, I like it. The crossover. He does. Great move by Jenner. Completely different driver than we saw yesterday. And look at E.J. Viso. I gave positions back. Now I'm going to get them back. Viso back on the charge past Ari Leyendyk Jr. in the white truck right behind.
Well, he just went back up again on that curbing. So maybe he didn't think this.
And look at Kincaid.
Just gets in a little too hot as you're leading onto that back straightaway, turn 6.
And the worst place that you can do that is right onto the end of the back straightaway because these guys behind you are going to get the run. Viso right on his bumper. He's going to lose
And you
positions.
actually can hear Viso coming off the throttle a little bit as he's riding his bumpers and coming down that back straightaway.
Managed to stay there. Leyendyk with a bit of a shortcut, but he overshoots the corner.
And you got
one truck by, 2 trucks by, and now Lopez trying to get by.
Big shoving match with Kincaid and Lopez there. But you got to think maybe Kincaid, you know, he's struggling with his brake pedal a little bit because he was getting in hot to a couple different corners, carrying in too much speed. So maybe his brake pedal's gone a little bit soft on him.
Kincaid beginning to slip back. Lopez now putting pressure on him. You ride on board with Robbie Gordon. What can he do to move forward? E.J. Viso looking strong yet again.
But is the racing just incredibly fantastic, the way those guys can come and lean on each other through the corners, continue on, doesn't take one. Oh, Scotty Steele.
Problem. That is at the entry to turn 12, I believe. See what happens to Scotty Steele. Just like too much speed, and then that banding on the tires kind of pulls you in on board.
And then obviously, so watch here, so he gets it back. He drops this thing down into first gear, lays toilet rubber, and off he goes.
Scotty Steele back underway, but it's Burt Jenner who leads in race number 3 from Belle Isle.
Every all-terrain tire claims to be tough. But when you have over 40% more tread life than the leading competitors, not to mention the longest warranty of any AT tire, the word tough just isn't tough enough.
Show me the Carfax.
Hi. Need help finding a dependable used car?
Yeah, I'm worried about things like flood damage.
Oh, our team doesn't keep quiet about those cars.
Frank the Carfax found an SUV here.
Here's a sports sedan. I'll get the VIN number.
Oh, there's a convertible. Avoid that one.
Largemouth bass. They get the word out. Now there's a whole new way to shop for used cars.
That's it.
Start your search at the new Carfax.com.
Your house lights itself. Your grass waters itself. Your dishes wash themselves. So why don't your floors clean themselves? The iRobot Brava floor mopping robot. iRobot, do you?
NBCSN rings in summer with a fight-filled Saturday night. First, Anatoly Duchenko battles Najib Mohammadi in a boxing light heavyweight battle. Then, we enter the cage as featherweight champ Georgi Karakanyan defends his belt against Rick Glenn.
Rick Glenn has ended it!
Plus, David Branch and Jesse Taylor clash for the inaugural MMA middleweight crown. It all starts with NBCSN Fight Night at 8, followed by World Series of Fighting. Tomorrow, 10 Eastern on NBCSN.
Speed Energy Formula Off-Road was brought to you by Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control. By Toyo Tires, driven to perform. And by Menards, save big money at Menards. The white flag should be coming out for race number 3, Menards at Belle Isle by Traxxas, and indeed, there it is. And the only thing that stands in the way of E.J. Viso having a perfect weekend is a much improved Burt Jenner, who continues to lead. He just needs to hold on for one more lap. On board with Keegan Kincaid running 4th, but E.J. Viso all over the back of Jenner in one of the best passing zones on the racetrack.
Yeah, turn 3, he's looking to the inside, and he sweeps alongside. A little bit of lockup. Is he going to get it woed down? He's not getting it woed down. He's going to use Jenner to slow him down, and around goes Jenner.
Oh, from an absolutely great race for Burt Jenner to contact and dropping to the back. Viso with lockup on the rear tires there, trying to get his Momo truck slowed down. And now Lyondike trying to challenge for the lead with Viso.
Banging as they go through there. Ari up on the curbing and going through there. EJ holds onto it. So now here's another good shot along this back straightaway. This would be the time to set something up. We're on board with Robbie Gordon looking at Lopez.
Lopez trying to get past Keegan Kincaid, and Gordon with a run on Lopez. It's going to get busy down in turn 7. Gordon picks up 4th. Can he hold on to it? Inside Lopez.
And there's Kincaid again, just shooting wide in that big braking zone. Definitely looks like he's challenging.
Gordon up to 3rd, and I think you're right, Robbie. I think Keegan Kincaid is having a problem with brakes. He is dropped back to 5th in a little side-by-side action. Aaron Bombach, Burt Jenner side-by-side over
And
the
look
top.
at the guys that have gone 1, 2, 3 right now. We got EJ, Ari, and Robbie. Those guys were 4th, 5th, and 6th at the restart of this.
And I think that goes back to the strategy that you talked about. Conserve something for the second half. EJ Viso, Ari Luyendyk, Robbie Gordon certainly have. EJ Viso through turn 13 for the last time. He'll have to work through the chicane. The 2 jumps to the checkered flag.
Oh,
Keegan
and upside
Kincaid
down.
on his side in turn 12
So
for the second time this weekend. But for EJ Viso, an absolutely perfect weekend in Detroit. Win number 3 of 3.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Viso's going to celebrate, but for Keegan Kincaid, he has to be scratching his head. You see him moving around in his truck. That is turn 12. Scotty Steele had a problem earlier in the race, somewhat similar, big slide into the tires.
And I think, as we referenced earlier, he got in there with big speed. Nobody helped him in doing that. And I think just, his brake pedal's gotten a little bit soft. Let's take a look on board here right now.
Has the big slide going. He's not on the turning brake, which is the right handle of the 2 that you see. The truck, just too much speed. He can't get the speed off the big slide. This is on board with Abdali Lopez. The roll has already happened.
Whoa! That would have hurt.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see from either driver. This is Scotty Steele, so Abdali Lopez has already been through. Scotty Steele takes the outside line through there, runs over some tires in the process, but you got to look for those caution flags, and there's EJ Viso. No caution for him. In fact, an absolutely perfect weekend, and he saved the best for last, Robbie.
And so let's take a look at this pass for the lead. This is going to turn 3. Big braking zone, a little bit of lockup. There's Jenner on the outside.
That's a little bit of lockup.
Well, it didn't start with lockup. He brought the lockup on. Here we are on board again with EJ. So now we got the smoke coming from the tires, and he's using Jenner a little bit just to slow him down and get him through the corner.
I think when he got in there on the brakes, he reached for that gear shift down change, and maybe that's what locked up the rear tires. Here's round 8. The results: EJ Viso, Ari Luyendyk, Robbie Gordon. You see that orange number plate for Robbie Gordon. He still leads the points. And for EJ Viso, though, weekends don't come any better than this one.
3 wins in the state of Michigan for EJ Viso in that Momo truck. Man, a lot of fun. Obviously, you like this track. Congratulations.
It's fun. I love this place. I've been always fast in an IndyCar as well. And now having this amazing opportunity. It's just fun. It's just a nice truck to drive. Getting used to the car, get a bit more confidence, being more comfortable putting the car in 3 wheels and staying in the throttle for longer. But it's fun. It's just fun. Started last and needed to start passing those trucks. Then they penalized me with 2 spots and put me behind in the 2 laps to go. So I needed to start moving fast again to the front.
You know what's impressive to me is how smooth he is in one of these trucks. You look at the points. Robbie Gordon still holding down the points lead by 68 over Abdali Lopez. But Ari Luyendyk Jr. had a great run here today as well.
I thought I had something for EJ and went on the inside of him, and we touched, and he ended up coming out ahead. So it was a hard-fought race. I kind of bided my time. These trucks are so fun to drive, but you're always on the edge. So basically, try to conserve the brakes until the last few laps.
You know what's interesting? The Toyo tires, when I watch, you guys essentially in turns are going on 3 tires, not 4.
Yeah.
Tire wear's not an issue with them, though.
No, these are pretty stout. They're a hard compound, and we also try not to spin the tires. We are sliding sideways, but we try not to roost them too much and make them last, because we only get 1 set for the whole weekend. So I think that was a big key in why EJ and I were quick, is just knowing how to conserve our tires.
When it is so important, the good thing is you can move those tires around. You get 1 set, but you can move front to back, side to side.
Well, very impressive. I mean, they are DOT street legal tires, and they hold up really well. And again, tire management and driving style is a key.